Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes!
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes!
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes!
Introducing Yes International Magazine, the time to say yes to your dream.
Now, what's your dream for algorithm, or let's say for the group entirely? What's your dream for the group?
So my dream for the group is that we are in the top 3 in every category, every sector that we participate. So whether that is in advertising, or that is media, or that is BTL or whatever, everything that we participate in, we want to be in the top 3 by 2022. So that's 2 years from now. So all of the efforts and the horsepower that we have will be put into growing those agencies with the right people, the right governance, the right strategy, and the right tools and processes supported by WPP to ensure that in the next 2 years we actually play in the top 3 in every category.
All right, you used to maintain a very popular column in Sunday Punch. Then all of a sudden your column disappeared. What happened?
In fact, I've got that question all the time. I feel very guilty about it. I apologize to all my readers. It's just been me pleading with Punch that I ran out of time. And out of time because I got a couple of board appointments and that I had to take up, and that's a bit selfish on my part, and I recognize that. But I've decided that, God willing, the first week of March, I'm going to launch something else. Nigerians should watch out. There's a leadership broadcast that is coming through. It's another way of giving back to the society without writing, but giving back on leadership. And actually, you are the first. Yes, the first magazine. That's the first publication I'm going to mention that too. That all plans are in top gear. That come March, people will start seeing our broadcast across social platforms where we're talking about leadership in a very practical way. Really backed by real storytelling of what happened in my experience. So here's what Peter Drucker says, or here's what my reporter says.
All right. Now, you're one of the few renowned MDs who usually step out with your wives. How did you meet your wife, and why are both of you so close? Yes.
I met my wife probably, if you look at 1986 to now, getting to 34 years now.
Okay.
And so, and she's just like 50 or 52 or thereafter. So that means that she was a teenager when we met.
Yeah.
She was in university, and I think I was just finishing her Unilag. And we met at a friend's birthday, and on a Valentine's Day, by the way. And we just got stuck to each other. I still say that thankfully there were a lot of ladies there. It was one of those parties because it was a birthday party of a lady, and it was a ladies event to the extent that the guys there were few, but even amongst all the ladies, there was no doubt that I knew who I wanted to be with. And people have said that it is true of me that from the day I met her, I just, God just said in my mind that that's the person. And that's despite that at the time I met her, I had a couple of friends as well, female friends. I was out to, I was in University of Lagos, I had a car to myself, I was in engineering, I was relatively smart, I was the chairman of my hall, I had so many things to do, so I had friends. And then I met her, and it was a no-brainer, and over time I left a lot of those friends to have. But why did I then strengthen my belief in her, and such that led to a marriage? So my mom wasn't the most literate. She was very successful as a trader, selling clothes and all of that. But her English was just, what I call it, you would almost know what she's saying. But she wouldn't speak all of the good English you would hear in England. And my wife, on the other hand, had just returned to Nigeria, was born in the UK and grew up in the UK, and had just come into Nigeria for her later part of her education. So I remember one day I brought her home, and I had to dash out. I was still at home, my parents home. I had to dash out to go and get something. And I came back, and I couldn't believe how she was communicating with my mother. She couldn't speak Yoruba. She not that one couldn't speak English very well. But they were communicating, and she was plaiting her hair. And when we were joking and all of that, and I said to myself that even despite the constraint in language, if they could do this, she's definitely the person. And why have we been so close? I think we've got to a point where it's almost like we've become brother and sister. If you've known somebody for over 30 years, goodness me, you better get used to the person. Otherwise, you're just going to kill yourself. So that like God, we've had, God has been good to us. We pray together when we can. We worship together in the same church, and more importantly, it doesn't matter, how many bedrooms are in the house that we live in. I'm one of those people that believe that you must share your room with your wife. So, where we live right now, when our kids who have their own rooms are out, we've got, 5-6 bedrooms left to ourselves, but I still stay in the same bedroom with my wife. I think that's helped to get us together. If you can't see during the day, you get to talk at night or whatever. So.
All right. Now, some people succeed in business and they fail in marriage. What usually goes wrong?
And it's a very common one, and it's really about not understanding that there's a balance to everything. Okay. That thing that people call work-life balance, we've gotten so used to it now, we all joke about it, but it's so true. And particularly for us as business executives, we get so carried away in our desire to be successful, make money and all of that, and forget that success actually is not just about having money. Success is about having a home. And the reason that people, in my opinion, drop one of the two is that they don't appreciate that part of their success is the woman or the husband they have. One of the things that and incidentally, I want to say this specifically to people who might still be in that, in my opinion, that archaic way of thinking. When we got married, I used to think that my wife and my family was best served by my wife not working. Okay? And if I look back to that time she was not working and now that she's very busy, I think that the time she was not working was when I had the most frosty of times with her. We never fought, but it was more difficult. And the reason was that I left the house in the morning, I left her there. By 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., she was expecting me back. She's not going to be talking to the wall. She's expecting me back, but I'm coming at 8 p.m. She's upset. Now she wants to talk finally. I'm not in a position to talk because I'm tired.
And you want to sleep.
And I want to sleep. So here's somebody who's been waiting for you to talk all day and all that. And just created what. So when God gave me that wisdom and that understanding, and she's a chartered accountant, MBA holder and all of that, we just decided that, look, she should work. Now, because she's working now, when we're coming home, we're both looking forward to the day, the evening, okay? She's coming to share experiences, I'm coming to share experiences, and it just strengthens the bonding. It just makes the bonding thicker. In fact, there are times you are calling and she says, give me an hour, I'm still busy, and you are happy. So for me, part of that success is making that balance, knowing that that's a factor in your being described as a successful man. If you are successful as a man, in my opinion, and you've not been able to manage a home well, it takes something out of your success.
Okay. Can we meet your family?
Yes, so I have, we have 2 daughters and a son.
Okay, what are their names?
Kemi is the oldest, then Nicholas, and then Jessica.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to round off on this note. When you're not working, away from work, what are the things that keep you busy, that keep you engaged, that how do you relax?
So, how could I explain? Like every other Nigerian man, I love to watch football.
Okay. So which club are you supporting?
You'll be disappointed, but I'm proud of that.
Okay, let me hear the name.
Up Newcastle.
I like that.
And everybody asks me, how come you support Newcastle?
Of all the clubs.
Of all the clubs, and I said to them that I supported them since 1984.
Wow.
Yeah, even bought their cards for some years. I've not done that recently, and the reason is that first time I went to England in 1984 was my first time in England. My cousin that I stayed with in England, was going to go and watch a football game
Okay.
at St James's Park, I think was in north of England, and I decided to follow him, and I loved the atmosphere, you know, and all this Aspiral and James Shearer and Alan Shearer and all of that.
Yeah.
And from then, and you know what, I believe in the citizenship. If you are a citizen of a club, you shouldn't change your club. There are some people now they're shouting, "Hey, up Liverpool, up Liverpool," and they're actually supporters of the season. They support the
Once the
season.
club goes down, they move to another.
Some of them I used to know them as Arsenal supporters. They've given up on Arsenal. Now they up Liverpool. I'm not a seasonal supporter. I'm a citizen. A diehard, a citizen of my club. So I don't change. So Newcastle. Oh, the Jody Army.
So what are the other things you do for relaxation?
So what are the other things I do for relaxation? When I can, I play table tennis as well. Personally, I do that.
You don't read? Which?
I do read.
Okay.
I tend to
Who's
read.
your favorite author?
Oh, incidentally, I read business magazines.
Business magazines. Okay.
So The Economist and like Business Africa and all that. Those are things I tend to read.
Okay.
Occasionally I read obviously leadership books.
Okay.
I like Jim Collins. I've read the book called Good to Great, the red cover. I learned a lot from that. So a couple of other aspects. Jim Collins has been the one I find easy. So it's a combination of reading business magazines or leadership magazines, playing table tennis when I can. Okay, really recently, been watching football as well, and I try to do my exercise every day.
All right. Thank you very much.
That's what I do.
Thank you.